You know, the thing that we have to figure out and work through that nobody talks about when you are going to become a champion is what to do with fear. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about just that, how champions handle fear. Now, I'm holding this, and I'll tell you why in just a second, but this is your first time here. I'm Coach Jay, and this is Champions Pedigree, where it is all about mental toughness for young athletes. I remember my first year playing baseball, and I was about 12 years old. So I jumped right into the deep end, right? There was no warm up. There was no T-ball. There was no coach pitch. It was 12 and under. And, we were in the league. We all played basketball together, but we decided to, hey, let's go play baseball for a summer. So that's what we did. And it was cool. But I remember at about the fourth game of the season, as we were going through the pregame huddle, and coach called my name and said, "You're going to be leading off." And I looked around. I'm like, "Wait, you talking to me? You talking to me?" Now, what does this have to do with fear? I was afraid to death of this thing. I was so scared of this ball and getting hit by the ball. In addition to being afraid of being hit by the ball, I was leading off, right? So there was no type of warm up. It was just, when you're the leadoff batter, you establish the tone, you set the tone, and you're the first man out of, or the first lady out of the dugout to get into the batter's box. Now, as I took a couple practice swings in the batter's box, and the pitcher was throwing, as he was warming up, throwing a couple pitches to the catcher, this dude was about, he had to be close to 6 foot. Now, remind you, we're 12, 13 years old, right? So this dude was throwing straight gas. The man was throwing fire. And I'm looking back at the coach like, you sure you want me to go first? Now, I'm afraid of the ball. I'm afraid of lead, because this is my first time playing, baseball, right? And so, he threw a couple warm-up pitches, and I'm like, oh, I'm shook. I'm trying to play it off. I'm trying to play it cool. The game hadn't even started yet, and so I step up to the plate, and he threw the ball. He did the windup and threw the ball. And when I say this man threw the ball so fast, all I heard was, and I looked, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know he threw the ball, right? I didn't swing, I didn't do anything, umpire said strike. So the second time he threw the ball, this time I saw it, and it was a ball, it was outside. So 1 ball, 1 strike. The third pitch, I'll never forget. He did the windup, and he threw it. And as it was coming to me, I thought about a couple of things, which I'll tell you at the end of the video. But in talking about fear, why does fear paralyze us? Everyone that is born in this world is naturally born with 2 types of fear. It's the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So everything else that we have become afraid of, we've learned it. We have learned it. We picked it up from somewhere. Either somebody said it, or we got the idea from somewhere. Anything that has created fear in your life, it's because we learned it from somewhere. So in the world class, right, in the top 1%, they understand this about fear. They understand that fear is a choice. Fear is a choice. Now, I'm not trying to minimize and saying, hey, don't ever be afraid, because fear is a natural emotion. But what I am saying is that when it comes to your sport, we cannot operate from fear, from that perspective of, hey, I'm afraid, I'm fearful, I'm afraid of making a mistake, I'm afraid of being wrong, I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing, I'm afraid of getting hit with the ball, I'm afraid to lead a team. And leadership can be fearful if you allow it to be. Now, you have the choice. You have the choice to say, hey, you know what? I am not going to be afraid. What the world class does, what champions do, what the elite 1% does, is that they operate from a place of growth. So I've told you before that objective reality is the number one thing that you have to learn when it comes to mental toughness. And all that is simply a reality check. That's being honest about where you are right now today. So if you're in a place where, hey, I'm not great or I'm not confident, start with that, be honest with that, but don't stay there. You have to continue to grow. Okay, well, how can I get better? What can I get better in? Where did I get the idea that I have to be afraid, right? Where did that even come from? And so the second thing we have to do is be careful that it's not doubt. Fear is one thing, but doubt is other people's misconceptions about you. So if you've adopted doubt in any kind of way that you can't do it, that's different than being afraid to do it, right? I didn't doubt. I didn't say, well, the coach didn't think I can do it, so I can't do it. No, he thought I was good enough to do it, so he put me out there. And I'm going to talk about this in another video, but this is what the mental toughness formula is that we teach here at Champions Pedigree. Don't ever forget this. Here's a formula, is that your belief controls your behavior and your behavior creates your results. I'm going to say it again. Your belief controls your behavior and your behavior creates your results. Like I said, I'll get into that because that's a whole nother teaching in another day. But the application that I want you to do is that if you find yourself being afraid, incorporate fun. There's a good chance that you're probably taking things too seriously. You're taking yourself too seriously. You're putting added pressure on yourself. Man, ease up. Have fun. If you need an example of this, George Kittle, that plays for the San Francisco 49ers, incorporates fun. This man is on the sidelines smiling every game, every practice. He's light. He's playful. He incorporates fun. But now when it's time to get in between the hashes and on the field, he's all business, but he's being himself, right? That's really how you get to a place where you can overcome the fear, navigate the fear, play free, and not be in your mind, okay? So incorporate that fear. Also, another way is competition. I love that Kobe Bryant used to bet with his teammates who could get the most steals in a game. So it was a game within a game. Now, as that third pitch was coming to me, I swung. You know what happened? It hit me in the back. And guess what? I lived to tell about it. It's okay. So if the thing you're afraid of happens, it's okay. It's okay. Get over it. Figure out how to be better. And that's what will happen. I'm Coach Jay, the Champions Pedigree. Cannot wait to celebrate all of your success. And I will see you next time.